What's up, everybody? I'm Sean,
And I'm Kenya.
and we are taking for ransom. We are here with our Love Project live stream. This is the
Woo!
first of many. We're probably going to do some more. We're doing it for month of February right now, and we have Erica and Kevin Williams with us. Hey, y'all!
So
We late. We know. All right.
It's our fault. We double booked.
Yeah, definitely did. So we're super excited. This is the Love Month, our Love Project. And as you guys know, we have been gone for a very long time. We had so much going on. We've just had a baby. So we've had taken some time off just to rest and enjoy our bundle of joy. But we are back and we're here, and the Love Project is in full effect tonight. So, as you know, we just said we had the Williams. So we're gonna just get started and just talk about your journey. Tell us, how did you guys meet?
you want to start first, or you want me to start?
Wait, you want to go? It don't matter to me.
Okay. I guess I'll start first. So I was now the reason why I started like this is because it was like a chance that I would have missed. So it was it was I can't remember if it was a Sunday night or what, but
It's Saturday.
yeah, it felt like okay, it might have been a Saturday because I remember I was at this church and I remember being very tired and I'm not usually that tired. I remember not wanting to do anything else after whatever it was we did. And I was expressing that for like 20 minutes. So the dude was like, after I said, yeah, after I told the dude I'm going home, I ain't doing nothing. He was like, hey, it's this gig in Chicago. You want to go to it? I'm like, bro, I just said I'm not going anywhere, doing anything.
Right.
Then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, how much are they paying me? So I went and I can't remember if my expectations were high or low or whatever, but I remember the moment that I broke through the door, I saw Erica and she was all bubbly and happy and you know, at the time I was dating somebody, but I thought that was gonna be my future. I really
Mm.
did. And the reason why I thought that was because she was a nice person. Um, and it's funny because like okay, just recently I've been listening to the Holy Ghost. I haven't I my discernment has been sharpened. So I'm realizing now back then some of the things that was being spoken to me. And I knew that's what that was. Like when I realized like, hey, she seems I'm like I don't even know her, but it's something about her. It's like, dude, what am I gonna do about my ex, my now ex? Like, what am I gonna do about her? As soon
I'm
as I
gonna get
saw
rid
her,
of her.
yeah, I was, yeah, and I'm like, that's bad because she's a virgin. You know what I'm saying? We was planning things out and whatnot, and the church loved her. And I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, you know what? She might not be all of that. So I'll just see what happens. I'll just see what happens later in the future. But I don't know. I don't know if you want the long version or the short version or the medium
We
version.
can give them the snippet, right?
Yeah, we want the version of how Erica became your wife.
She became my wife. Okay. So yeah, that's a lot to that.
Okay, so I'm gonna interject just a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
So I need y'all not judge me, okay? Because Jesus
No
judged me,
judgment.
okay?
No
Let's just tell
judgment.
it.
We just gonna nail it on the cross
Let's just
right
tell
now.
it together.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna tell it together. I
Yeah.
think it's better we tell it together. Okay. So me and Kevin met through a mutual friend. Um, she had asked me to come to the service to sing. And I'm gonna be honest, and again, I don't need y'all to judge me. I had murder on my heart. I was about to like I had a whole setup. I can't get on names because I don't I love my friends and I know they my ride or dies
Hmm.
forevermore in Jesus' name. I had planned to kill my ex.
Wow.
and I had like a whole setup plan for him. And my friends who are truly my friends had my back. And my friend, she was like, "Man, can you lead worship?" I'm like, "Girl, this ain't a good time to be asking me to lead no worship. Find somebody else
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna be able to lead worship because I got murder in my heart." So what's crazy about the story of how I met Kevin was my ex-husband kept looking at me. He was like, "Erica, something about you was off." He was like, "Is it something, he was like, is everything okay?" And I kind of like was just like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Ain't nothing wrong. I'm good. I'm good." He was like, "I think you need to go to this church service because I know you don't want to talk about it, but I think it'd be good for you to go to this church service." So I really didn't want to go because I don't believe in like trying to lead worship and you got murder in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the service anyway, and I kind of like tried to suppress how I was feeling because it's a church service, and you don't want to give bad vibes or whatever out. And so I was happy go lucky, but deep down in my heart, I still
You was
had
ready to, yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
flight minutes. And so I met Kevin. I was like, man, something in him just so different. But when your emotions is kind of like other places,
Yeah.
you see them, but you don't see them enough to jade you away from it. So we talked, we kind of laughed and giggled or whatever. He actually carded me. Carded me. And so he was like, I was just too happy. So it just kind of really threw him off.
Yeah.
And so um kind of fast forward, um, we kind of like he had his spouse or the girl he was talking to. And then I end up talking back to the boy I was gonna kill.
Just to clear it up, not my spouse. It was just a girlfriend.
Yeah, just a girl.
Right.
Whatever. And so we ended up kind of just really being good friends. We were sharing our business with each other, because he lived in Indiana, I lived in Illinois. We didn't have mutual friends. So
Yeah.
sharing business don't seem hard when you not really clear as to what the relationship specter is.
Right.
We just kind of like winging it, but like it's weird, but like we just kind of let it pass. So what I didn't know was, and I think he can speak to the same, I think when we was kind of like going on our own journey, just kind of being friends for a period of time, we lost contact, but God was dealing with us individually about our own personal growth, like our own
Yeah.
personal journey. So like when I first met him, he was kind of on the slimmer side. When I seen him again, he had a new body. So I was like, maybe the Lord, maybe the Lord knows because no lie, and he know I ain't lying. When I seen him again, when we seen each other again, we kind of looked like new people, a little sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And so my ex was with me at the time,
The
and
one he was gonna kill.
yes, I said don't judge. You didn't hear me start off this conversation.
Did you tell this story when we were at dinner last year?
Did I tell this story?
If,
I probably
if we
did.
were talking to them, yeah.
I probably did. So
Oh yeah, mind you, I kind of low key got back with my ex.
he did. It's called the spare tire syndrome. Don't act like you don't know. When you're not sure what it is, you kind of be like, let's go to what's comfortable.
Yes,
It's the
absolutely.
safety net.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So, that's kind of like what we did. But at the same time, it was kind of like God was dealing with us about our own like personal evolutions about what we wanted and what we was aspiring. So we seen each other, what was that, like 2015. And the same mutual friend who introduced us brought us back. And this how crazy it is. We see Kevin walking up, me and my friend, and she like, girl, that's your husband right there. She like, you can leave him behind. Now, mind you, this is the problem of this situation, so you can understand. That's her brother-in-law.
Who her brother?
My ex. She like, leave him alone. Like he not standing there. And this who you supposed to be with. She like, look at all that. Girl, God didn't even bless him with a new set of arms. Because anybody who know, I love, baby, I love me.
Little arms.
So, and so the lady, she was, so, she's saying this, and the ex just like sitting there like, like I am sitting here, right? Like,
Right.
she did ride with me here.
Right.
So it was weird because like I think that day we spent the whole day together. We like just was kicking it, acting like little
Hey,
kids.
you know what? Can I interject too? Whether I had the arms or not, like they were together, it's like you know how you just know something is yours.
Yeah.
He like, dude, I don't know, like Thor's hammer. He knows that's his. It's gonna come back
Yeah.
when he throw it out in space. That's how it felt to me. I'm like, dude, I know that's mine. That's hers.
Yeah.
I just know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so I think that's true too because like he wasn't phased that my ex was there.
Mm,
It wasn't a factor at all. And even when me and my ex finally cut ties like completely,
I didn't even really
he
recognize
didn't
him.
even recognize him. Like the whole time we had been friends, he didn't see him as a anything.
yeah.
He was a nothing. And like even his ex, it's interesting. I finally got to meet her some years. I think it was like
Let me tell you about woman's intuition, right? So I thought that in my heart, I'm like, you know what? It's nothing between me and Erica. So look, I was a rascal. I'm just gonna tell you this.
Really?
Yeah, so
maybe yeah.
so it was some girls that was after me or whatever, and they had sent some pictures. I had some pictures. She was snooping through my phone, and it didn't matter about any of them other pictures. She was like, "Who was this girl?" It was a nice little
And
innocent
it was an
picture
innocent picture
with
because
a
I don't send
scarf,
them raunchies.
with a
No,
s-
no.
with a scarf on her neck. She was like, "I'm concerned about this one." I'm like, "How
Wow.
would you know to be concerned about that?"
Yeah, and so I was glad to finally meet her because I wanted her to know, like, dude, like when y'all was together, like we were just genuinely friends. I
Yeah.
didn't even know him, so it was like, again, it was just interesting. Bree. So full circle, 2015, we was kind of like talking or whatever, and I wasn't sure, but I was sure, but I wasn't sure if that makes sense. If Kevin was what I needed in my life because in the past, I had projects,
Yeah.
I had project relationships, and so I didn't want to have another relationship where it failed. So I was
Mm,
like really seeking counsel, really asking God to help me because this would be I just had two marriages. You know
wow.
what I'm saying? They didn't work out. So me finding my self-discovery, finding my voice, and being sure this time, now that I understood the value of marriage, I can be honest. The first two times I got married, I really didn't understand the value of marriage. My parents was married. My mother had been married twice. My father had been married four times, and he always had a mistress. So like just my concept of marriage just was different. And it wasn't until my second divorce and God really fathering me in areas and just really giving me identity and language to myself that I was able to identify I'm really just not ready to be a wife. And I
Yeah.
need to figure out what that looks like before I can even attempt to try to be another person's bride again. And so when I did meet Kevin, when I met him, I thought it was ironic because I felt like looking back, like God was showing me that even though I was hurt about the situation with my ex, God had gave me something better. And so
Yeah.
the running joke I always say is God gave me double for my trouble in every sense of the word. Now my girlfriends know what that means, but I'm not gonna put that out here on the live. And so I always think about that because like I'm grateful for my season of discovery and allowing God to heal me because I wouldn't be the wife I am to Kevin now. I wouldn't have the patience that I have now, or probably him to me as well, if I didn't allow God to kind of like get me through that place. So like even when it was time to date Kevin, I know for me, my friends, I thought my friends was interested. I'm like, man, girl, shoot your shot. You got this.
Mhm.
You know what
Mhm.
I mean? And so I think he was like, I know because we talked about it before, like just like you really gonna keep throwing these people on me. Like I'm not going. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, well, you don't know. You just don't
Yeah.
want to assume. And I didn't want to get I guess I didn't want to, if it's not for me, then, he'll go one of my friends or whatever. But
Yeah.
it took my pastor to like really tell me, you got a good man. This boy is traveling all the way from Maryville to be at your church service outside of his church services. And he's pursuing you the right way. Are you not paying attention? Like, hello. And so, like, just having that counsel just really helped me open up my heart to receive the love that he was trying to give me.
Just to wrap it up on my end, God like shows me things in different ways. So like the way I understood who she was like I understood early, like in our friendship or whatever you want to call it, that you it's like you don't have two of the same thing.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? You need one thing and you need another. You got a left hand, you got a right hand. You don't need two right hands. So she was like my left hand and I was the right hand. Uh the things that irritated me about her were things that I needed to see from her perspective in order to understand and vice versa. So, but I had like a deep sense of knowing that that was from God. So even though I wanted to just throw her away and just be whatever I wanted to be, I really just couldn't do it because a throw her away would be like throwing away God's plan.
yeah.
Or actually it would have been. So I'm like, like you can go so far with so many things that you do, but you like, I won't do this though. She was one of them things where it's like, like what else am I gonna do? Who else am I gonna be with?
Yeah.
So that's how I knew.
I love it. Okay, so I think for us, it's a similar, very similar story. Like Sean is from Detroit, I'm from Indiana, so like he would travel back and forth to come and to come and be with me. I think he was in little situations and stuff like when we got together, and I was a little, it's very similar story. And like when we got married, it was a lot of things that like we just had to get out of our systems, and just like really be for real and just love one another. So what is one thing that you guys could say to talk to about like patience? I know that's one of the things that is really big in marriage. Last Wednesday, my first lady said that she knows that she's not the person that she was when she first got married. Like it was a growth thing. Like and her husband had to be patient with the growth of who she was becoming. So what's one thing that you guys can like encourage us to do as far as like when it comes to being patient in marriage?
Well, you said advice on how to be patient, or
No, like so she was just saying she's not the person that she was when they first got married.
Kind of like
So
stepping in new shoes.
yeah. Like, maybe she was giving an example like of her communication. It wasn't as good as it was when they first got married. So what is one thing that you guys can speak to that maybe that you guys had to do? Maybe Erica gave a little lip. She don't give lip as much lip as she does now. So like what's one thing?
How do you know when you need to be patient when you're dating somebody going up to a marriage or married? How do you know when to be patient versus I've had enough? I can't deal with this no more, deuces. How do you know like this is worth fighting for?
I think for us, the beginning of our marriage was very um we had a lot of good times, we had a lot of challenges.
Mhm.
Um and I think for us, something that helped us is to be able to be honest. If your spouse cannot be like totally honest with you to the point where it's gonna hurt, you know, then you kind of lose your ammunition sometimes on what to pray for.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, at one point in our marriage, Kevin wasn't really used to being open, like being upfront about stuff. He just was used to kind of like being kind of like on his own. And it's weird because he's not an only child, but I'm an only child, so but he kind of got like the only child syndrome. And so
because I'm the only boy.
he's the only boy, and his siblings, what's your age limit?
That's 6 and 8 years older than me. So
So yeah, it was like a little gap. So um I used to tell him in the beginning, I'm like, dude, you could tell me anything. Just tell me so I know how to deal with it. But don't take my choice to choose. That is something I've always been really big on because I feel like when you take a person's choice to choose, it's almost like you're violating them. And so I used to always tell Kevin, I'm like, listen, you know, don't take my choice to choose because it's kind of like you take my freedom away. If you tell me, for all you know, I'll stay. You know what I mean? No matter what the situation is, I may stay or I may not. I may have to come into a place where I need to go to God in prayer. And I think that also for me I feel like a lot of times when people are going into marriage, you think I feel like we don't really talk about it enough. Like you are two separate people becoming one. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have different backgrounds and you may have different opinions. And you have to really be like um girded and be honest with your deal breakers. You know what I mean? Some couples, they deal breakers look different than others, and you have to be honest with what you cannot handle. And so for us, one thing that we did was try our best to open the lines of communication even if it hurts. And if we come to a place of like what is it, if we come to a place where we feel like it's going over and over again, you may need to seek counsel. You may need to seek their like couples counseling or whatever. But we had premarital counseling,
hmm
and we also had co-parenting counseling. And so I feel like that helped us a lot to be able to kind of open that window conversation up. But as far as like patience, you signed up for this. And that's how I feel. Like as a spouse, if you are saying, hey, I want to be married, the first wind that blows that knocks something off the ledges doesn't give you a right to just leave. We need to figure out what we can do together if we're willing to partner to make this thing work.
yeah,
Kevin.
I guess my perspective or like on how to deal with how to get a good perspective on like having patience as far as like marriage, and I guess Christian married Christians. And I don't know why this is a tough one for me to explain. It's like well, me specifically, when God gave me Erica, there was a lot of things that I desired to be, or a lot of personal goals that I wanted to achieve to build my character, and I don't think I would have done it like as efficient as I would have without without a wife as I would with a wife. So there was a lot of things that I don't know. I just had to be patient with myself. Uh, I had to trust my wife to help me. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you sometimes just got to give your spouse, depending on the spouse, because I love what she said about Lady Jacobs. Her husband gave her the patience to grow. I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of us are evolving, and I think, like in our marriage, in some areas of my life, Kevin had to learn patience with me to grow, and vice versa. But it's the willingness to be patient, knowing that you are a couple who, you're striving for something better. You know that your marriage has purpose. It's different when you don't think you don't have marriage goals, or you don't have you're not your marriage as a unit is not striving for something. So definitely, I think goals helps with patience because you're like, it won't always be like this. But, I think another thing is that it brings us into another place of prayer, because some things you can't manipulate, some things you can't try to do on your own. The only way that you can successfully do it is through prayer.
Right.
Yeah, and that goals thing is a real important thing because you have to realize that every day, the challenge is every day. You can't put some of the goals that you have on the back burner like it's month by month or week by week. It's like it's choice by choice.
Right.
Every choice you have that you make, you have to consciously make the right choice. And you have to make the right choices in your heart first. I don't know if that's dedicated to having patience, but I guess that's a method that will help you with the patience process, you won't have to use that much patience. But
No, that's a very good answer. That definitely put a lot of things in perspective because I know from talking to friends of mine that are newlyweds and friends of mine that have been married for a while, that's always one of the biggest things for Christian couples, non-Christian couples. When do you know if it's something worth fighting for, or it's something like this isn't working instead of red flags, these are yellow lights or things like that? How do you know that this is what I need to push forward?
yeah,
Um,
and I
what?
like, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
and like realizing I always keep this in mind when it's something that it's like, when is she ever gonna get to this? Realizing how you realize, like how you build your patience with that is realizing there's a lot of things that you can't stand about yourself that you ain't changed yet.
Right.
And that will help you have a perspective of, okay, all right, this is how I'm going to do this for me. Maybe you can, if you can come up with a solution of how to deal with yourself on a on a choice by choice or day by day or moment by moment, you can, when you better understand how to get through things yourself, maybe that will help you come up with a solution as well as praying for it and God giving you answers and you working through y'all struggles together.
Because I think the other thing is this: you're gonna change while you're married. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be married like 5 years and that's it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna evolve, but you're not gonna be the same person at, say you got married at 20. You're not the same person at 30, and you're not the same person at 40. And as you continue to evolve,
You better not be.
hopefully, I pray not, but as you evolve, you know what I mean, that person is growing with you, and you don't, your spouse and you don't always grow or accelerate at the same rate. So it may take your spouse a little more it may take them a little more patience with you if one is accelerating in one season higher than the other. It's the same thing with sex. You have some spouses who libido is off the roof, and then there's a season where it's like, look, I just need sleep, take one for the team and get it on your side. You know what I mean? It's just one of those situations where you have to be willing, based off the covenant that you made, that this is something you in for the long run, for better or worse. Now, if he's stabbing you to death or she's stabbing you to death, you may want to reconsider. But I think some things the culture has taught us to just easily, like, divorce is an option. I don't really think divorce should be an option. That's why you should really vet out who you marrying before you say I do. You know what I'm saying? It may be the thing, because the thing, that might wear out for you, and the tricks might wear off if you've been doing it so long. You know what I mean? So you got to find something else that works.
And that just sparked in my mind the idea, know who you have.
That part.
Know yourself first and then know who you have. Because like, if I know I'm driving a school bus, I know I'm not gonna expect it to be a Mustang. I think your expectations will be better once you know what it is that you're working with.
And what you're building, that's the biggest thing. It's like, for me, like, I see so many people that get married, but their marriage and have no purpose. Like, what is your thing? What is your sweet spot? What is the thing that you know talks back in your relationship? That's the one thing I feel like, if most marriages found their sauce, their secret sauce, like, marriages will last longer because they see what they holding on to. Like, I look at people like Beyonce and stuff like that, and even Kobe Bryant and his wife, when he was alive and stuff like that, how they were able to hold on to that marriage. Or even who is that? Tamia and
Reggie
Grant
Miller,
Hill.
Grant
Grant
Hill.
Hill, you know what I mean? Like they have a sauce where they don't allow other people, places, or things to hinder what they're building. They see the big picture. And
Yeah.
I feel like when you, even before you get married, you need to be honest with yourself about what you want so that you can realize what you want to marry. You don't want to marry something because of the money, because what if the money fall out of pocket? You know what I mean? You got to figure out what you're looking for. Like the thing I love about my husband is that how he, my love language is acts of service. Like it's little stuff that Kevin does that makes me feel so special. It makes me feel loved. You know what I mean? I like the touches too, but you know the service does something to me. You know, it's like it just makes me feel like I can feel it, and so I don't know. I just think about those things like sometimes you got to figure out what works for your marriage and what works for the relationship that you're looking for. If money is the thing that's going to attract you, or gifts is the thing that's going to attract you, or all the Philly touchy stuff is going to attract you, then hey, that's all.
So Eric already answered our next question. So Kevin, what's something the biggest thing you love about Erica?
The biggest thing that I love there's too many things. And the biggest thing is like hard to, well, I tell you what the biggest thing is. She loves God, definitely for her. That's like the biggest. There's nothing that's bigger than that. Like, I think if that was my thing, that would probably be the biggest thing. If if I would have made that something. But that's basically it.
That is a good answer. All right. Who takes longer getting dressed? So is Erica the reason you guys are late to stuff? Because for us, it's Kenya's fault.
Oh, it's definitely my fault. I even got shirts that say "Mom's excuse for being late."
The boys.
You said, or it's the kids?
Yeah, they got t-shirts, black
That
t-shirts.
say "Mom excuses for being late."
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, true story. My friends actually call him and give him the itinerary.
Erica.
Totally acknowledge that. Yes, all my friends know. Tell me 30 minutes early if you want me to be there.
Yeah, she already. It's like she be so late all the time. She always figure I'm lying to her about the time. It ain't no use in telling us a 7:30 event is at 6:30.
Because she gonna be late.
She'll be like, I already know. I already talked with her. It's like, I know. I'm just making sure.
Right, you know.
He's doing good though, because this is what he'll do. Erica, you have to do better. You gotta respect people's time, and I'm like, you right. I do gotta respect people's time. So in my mind, what I try to do is I try to, because I don't know, for some reason I think because I drive fast, I can get there in 20 minutes, but it's a 45-minute ride.
Right.
You know, y'all have to pray for me. You know,
Yeah.
but he got to get me together.
Kevin. Kevin, do you allow Erica to eat off her plate?
How could I put this? I don't allow her to eat off my plate. But
Okay. Okay, got it.
I don't care, but to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time she. No, you know,
when the last time
I probably just don't remember. But
I haven't done it lately.
Like this is my pet peeve with it. Like with that situation, she could be allergic to something, but because it's on my plate, she'll still eat it anyway.
Right.
And I'm like, I thought your allergies would have protected my plate, but it won't.
It's special.
It's special.
Well, I was gonna ask our next question, but that's already obvious. I was gonna say who's the more extroverted, outspoken person, but I remember. First of all, the answer is Erica. I don't even need y'all to answer. I remember last year we were at the dinner, and Kevin's steak was made wrong. And Kevin said, "You know what? I'm cool." Erica said, "No, excuse me. His steak isn't made right. He needs this done again."
You're right.
Hey, you know what? you know what it is? Like, okay, do I want my steak the way I asked for it? Yes. But you know what I also want?
Mm-hmm.
That people don't probably recognize this. My eating experience not to be disturbed. I don't know if guys think this to say that, but it's like it's not it's like I can be well done or medium well or whatever, like as long as it's not, you know, pink or bloody or whatever. But you know, she's got a. I think I don't know what it is.
It's the respect thing. Like if I order my food, I want you to bring it to me like I asked. I don't want you to bring it your way. I want you to bring it my
I'm
way.
like, once I enjoy this meal, I ain't got to worry about that chick or whoever it cooked the meal. But you disturbed the air, so now it's like, okay,
Right. That's
now
why
I
we
need
prayed over it though, babe.
now I needed protection over.
Oh, your food now.
So on the subject of food, on the subject of food, have you got this? This question is more so for Kevin because I
Okay.
need a guy's point of view. 5-star dining. Do you want to go to 5-star dinings for the experience, or would you rather go someplace that's going to give you enough good tasting food to fill you up? Because 5-star dining doesn't really come with a lot of food on the plate.
Okay, I that's a tough one. To be honest with you, you know, like the human mind, they would think, well, we want both. But if I had a choice between the two, and you were asking me personally, what would I want? It would be for the food because I'm there for the product. I do like the ambience, but if I'm taking most of the time when I go out to eat, I'm taking my woman to eat. So it's gonna be for the 5-star experience that she likes, you know, more so than it is because I can eat whatever. I
See,
can
the
eat
second part of that answer is fine and dandy, but I just needed the first part because me and Kenya been talking about this. I'm like, I don't want the experience. I want to enjoy the food. I don't.
What, Erica? No, Erica, tell me what.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna explain why. Because I took Kevin to Gibson's for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, Ruth Chris is nice. I think the first time you went to Ruth Chris was Father's Day. I said Ruth Chris is nice, but Gibson's got a little some umph on it, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, this is nice. I said, what you think your steak tasted like, Kevin? Did you taste the difference of the certification on that steak? Did you taste it?
Yeah, it was soft.
Okay, here we go. We're talking about quality food. Okay, when you went to Gibson's, because that's why I got to go here with this, because we're gonna find the merge.
Yeah.
When you went to Gibson's, was you full?
Yeah.
Right. Why? Because they gave you what?
A lot of it was
The
big.
side. So when you go to 5-star restaurant, it's the quality, and depending on where you go, you can get a full meal on that 5-star.
Maybe I'll be a little more open-minded this year, but I have a big stomach, so if I go somewhere, if I'm going to pay that much, I want to be able to eat that much.
Yeah, like
But you know
I
what
like
about like Brazil? Well,
I
no,
like
I don't
Fogo
think
de
they
Chao.
5. Fogo de Chao, they fell off. They used to be really
Yeah,
good.
they did.
Maestro's used to be really good, but I don't think they worth the money no more. But Gibson, they talk back. I don't know if I want to give Gibson up. Gibson's
That was good.
now it's pricey, but I think for a good anniversary something.
Yeah, we're going to expand our restaurant palette because right now our favorite places is Carrabba's and Low Country for a good old seafood boil.
You know what though?
That sounds good.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all want to go?
Let's go. Listen. Okay.
You ain't got no kids right now.
But yeah, I love a good seafood boil. But yeah, the other thing too, what's the other place we used to check out? Fogo de Chao is good. Went to Texas, Brazil. Is that what the place you went to in Orleans?
Texas de Brazil.
Yeah, it was okay. Maybe because Friends who work in steakhouses
I
downtown.
couldn't
I
remember it.
kind of just then got spoiled.
Mhm.
But I feel like people who are on the budget, and this that free tip 99. When you're on a budget and but you want to eat 5 star, restaurant week is very a popular time to
Mhm.
go check out restaurants because you can get a certain like they give you a nice portion size of food for a lower price than what you typically would pay. So like I tell a lot of couples when you want to have a 5 star experience, either go early, like during the day, and you get a low price, but you still get a full meal, or go during restaurant week or something when they having those specials. But everybody deserve a 5 star experience.
Thank you. Thank you. I totally agree. I totally agree. Now, this our last one, and I really want to know this because I just want to know if it's just Sean. So, Kevin, do you like to celebrate your birthday? Like, do you go all out for your birthday? Like, what is it?
That's a them thing. Like,
That's a
dude,
them thing. Okay.
I could sit
Told
at
you.
home on my birthday.
I
I'll
told
celebrate.
you.
It's like that 5 star restaurant ambience thing. Like I go do that for her, but like it's the same thing. My birthday, dude, I could chill. It could be a nice chill spot. Wings.
That's all I want is just wings and a good movie,
Yeah.
and I'm good. Throw it.
So
Yeah.
what happens when y'all this chill when our birthday comes? How does that work? So I can be clear as to so do you want us to be chill on our birthday or is it still a national holiday?
No, because we're not gonna change who you are, but you have to give us some grace when it comes to planning your birthday stuff because
No,
that's not
no,
who we are.
I'm
That is
not.
the
I'm not.
question. Here we
No,
go.
I'm not giving you no grace on my birthday.
Because
I
and
told you.
I hear this a lot with like a lot of women. We be talking about this a lot. Like with birthdays, men be making this. It's like, dude, we've been together for a while now. Y'all
Right.
know it's once a year. It's once a year. You know, find a friend to hook you up to tell you what I want for my birthday. I'll tell them, and you go ask them.
Right,
Then
right.
you know you can know what we want for our birthday. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think sometimes that's a sweet situation. Or you look at like with my best friend, uh, what she does is I'll tell her what I'm interested in, and then I change my mind. So I'm like real
Mhm.
indecisive.
No, yeah.
I do give Kevin his props. Like he really tries to like make my birthday really special. But I'm a planner by nature, so
Mhm.
I don't know if I do a great job of allowing him to celebrate my birthday as much as he would like.
Check this out though. Just observe that. Don't you realize that women have the high ground because they like if it was about technology, this and that, we would have the high ground. Oh, get me a car or something like. Oh, I know exactly, if I had the money. But when it comes to planning and birthdays, them versus us, because they like that stuff so much, I have to research. Like you say, I call a best friend. I
What?
call a best friend for that. Like because I don't do anything for my birthday, so I don't have birthday planning experience like that.
Yeah.
I'm not,
But they accept your gifts, right?
Right. Yeah,
That's
he
what
accepts. Yeah, he accepts
that's why
them.
I have to go the extra mile. See, that's an extra mile for me. It's not an extra mile for you.
okay, I give you that. And I had to learn patience with this part only because
Well, you gonna have to help me with that when I
because
text you
Kevin
and
used
say,
to tell
Erica,
me,
let me tell you what he did for my birthday.
Let me give you a
See,
perspective.
the
My
problem
last
on our
birthday, they
side,
did something. I was mad because she spent too much money. Who's mad? Like, am I supposed to be mad on my birthday? I guess that's the husband, father thinking.
the
I don't know.
problem on our side is Kenya and her daddy, and she's a daddy's girl. They have the exact same birthday,
oh,
so I'm competing with
You're not
years
competing. You're not
of her
competing.
daddy's
He just
spoiling
don't
her
know.
for her birthday
Well,
Um,
I'm used
because
to
it's his birthday too.
right. So I'm used to my father going like we go on trips every year. Like
Keep
it's
in mind,
not.
this is a retired man.
we go on trips every year. My birthday has always been special, like a
Right.
very special thing. And so Sean comes like, oh yeah, we just go. No, we don't do what you're not.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. It's kind of like yeah, I do. I definitely
I'm just
understand.
not used to, just doing something very simple. I'm used to like a week long or even a month long thing because my daddy has always made it like so like up there. And I'm the only
It's how far,
child.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only child on my daddy's side. So
Not
like,
you.
it's really a big thing. So when he just be talking about, I'm like, Sean, sweetie, that's okay. I'll do my own thing because I cannot.
That's when upbringings come into play because I ain't had a birthday party since I was like 12.
And it's weird for me
Same for
because
me.
growing up, I celebrate my birthday. I don't remember how many birthday parties per se I had,
Mhm.
but once I got like in my 30s, I really started celebrating my birthday. Before my 30s, I really didn't celebrate my birthday. And I think for me, because I had like I had a situation where I thought I was gonna die in my 20s, that my 30s became precious to me. You know what I mean? So it was like I'm gonna celebrate my life,
Yeah.
by any means necessary. And it just kind of gave me a more of a reason to celebrate. But before then, for some weird reason, I used to always end up at church on my birthday. Now I'm like, look, we're gonna praise the Lord for that hour and a half, but I'm about to go and celebrate my day because I
Yeah.
only got one day.
Yeah.
So I definitely wholeheartedly understand that. I used to be like him. I think that's why I'm kind of like understanding. But like now it's kind of like, women have Valentine's Day and other stuff like that. I'd rather you give me my birthday and we can skip all the other holidays. If you give me my birthday, then it's good. But I think we've been doing good on it because, like, I think his birthday, where I take you to Vegas, and
And
then
She wanted to take me to Vegas. Was it last year?
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want to go nowhere for my birthday.
I had it all planned out.
You know what I'm gonna do this
everything.
year? I'm gonna invite Kevin over. We're gonna have some wings, and we're gonna play Call of Duty.
That
look,
actually sounds
look
good.
at him. He already excited. Like, let's go. Listen, but yeah, birthdays are tricky though. But we can't. And the one thing I do want to say is we have to learn to like just find our medium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Finding that medium is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding finding
You
that
know,
everything.
Erica, I'll text you in a minute like, Erica, girl. like,
I know, right?
girl. And you would call me and be like, can you have this one? I'm like, okay, let me just fill it all out. Let me see if you want to
Yeah.
going out.
But having them safe places is everything. Like I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, like you don't have a safe place, especially while you trying to wife or you trying to be a good husband or whatever. It's like a breeding ground for other things. So yeah, that's why I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna need to talk to somebody so they could talk to him. And then I just, start being honest. You should just talk to Naomi and ask her.
And
Yeah.
I like to surprise people.
He
I
does.
cannot surprise her. She too.
I'm nosy.
See,
I wouldn't be able to get it
And
past.
I love surprises.
I do not like
I love
surprises.
surprises.
You don't even like good surprises.
No, because I want to know. I know that sounds wrong, but I want to know.
So how
I
would
wanna
you
know
feel
too.
if you got surprised with so many great things? Heaven gonna be a surprise. You ain't
It
gonna
is,
like
and that's the only surprise I may know.
don't none of us know what that looks like.
I don't know. I feel away. I don't know.
Right. I love surprises, so please surprise me. Please
Girl,
surprise
I love doing surprises. I just don't like
Right.
them for myself.
And
Right.
and that's when I get creative when I think about surprising somebody. I just like doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm offended by surprises. I don't think I'm offended. I just don't like them.
Yeah.
I want
It's
to
a
know.
difference. It's a difference.
So that
Yeah.
just might be a challenge. That's all.
We're going to pray about that.
We're
Don't
gonna pray
surprise
about that.
me.
And how long have you guys been married for?
This year at the end of towards the end of this fall, it'll be 6 years.
6.
Wow. That's good years.
Well, we appreciate you guys for coming on with us.
Thank you so much
Yay.
for having us.
Thank you for a wonderful conversation, very informative. And we're definitely going to bring you guys back for our couples game night this year when we do the live stream.
Oh, I definitely watched it. I was cracking up.
Was you? Erica, you guys have
Yes.
to come on.
I was like, oh, y'all clowning in here. Okay.
And you know we're going to bring back our best guests, the Feathersons. They're going to come back.
They were hilarious. I seen that sign. He said, you know what I was really going to put up.
And she put the same thing.
I know. I said, okay, man, that's good. Okay.
I keep telling them they need their own Netflix show.
They do. They were hilarious. But I love the freedom and the transparency in the game.
Yeah, it was real good. So we definitely gonna bring that. We're gonna bring you guys on for that.
I think we're gonna do it maybe in the fall this year.
Okay, cool.
Because we moved, so we're still getting the house situated and everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn it into like our podcast studio right here in the living room.
Yay, we are so excited for you all.
Thank you.
It's gonna be good.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, thank you for watching our live stream. Those of you that tuned in, we will be back next week with another wonderful couple. Please go follow Erica and Kevin. They are tagged in all our things. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever social media is at. And until next time, we will see you.